Those are the kind of things I like about her, and she's just beautiful and smart and sexy, and I'm so proud that she's my wife.
Oh, that's so nice.
Some people is, even when you're married, never stop dating. Never stop going on those date nights. Never stop buying them flowers or what they like, because people.
Hi friends, I trust you're well. Welcome back to yet another episode of Solving Long Distance Relationships. And today's episode is one that I'm actually particularly very excited to shoot because we have our very first guest on the set. This couple, the guest is a couple, is not just any other couple. They're my very, very good friends, and I'm very excited to, share them with you guys. I've interacted with them on like several occasions. We've been talking, and finally they're here on the set, and I can't wait to present them to you guys. So, drum rolls. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jojo and Pancho. Hey guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the set.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit more about yourselves. Who are you? Where do you come from? How did you guys meet? Where do you live? What has your journey been like?
Okay. I started. You want to start?
Sure, you go ahead.
My name is Jojo. I'm Kenyan, but I currently live in Italy with my husband Pancho. When I'm not working, I love traveling and making YouTube videos and sleeping. I love sleeping.
Okay.
Before we say how we met, I'll let my husband introduce himself.
Okay, thanks. Hey, I'm Pancho. I'm from Lima, Peru, which is in South America. Y hablamos español. For those of you who understand Spanish, that's what we speak over there in Latin America. I have been traveling and living abroad for many years now, like 10 years or more. And right now I'm in Italy for work. And that's where I live with my wife. And we both enjoy traveling. I don't like sleeping as much, but I do like working and doing stuff around the house. And traveling and vlogging.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So how did you guys meet? Where did you meet?
Okay, how we met. This is a long one, but I'm gonna give the short version. If you want a long version, it's on our channel. So we met in Kenya. We met here in Kenya, but we were working in the same field. We were colleagues, and that's when we first met. And then what happened?
And then you came to Italy, to Rome specifically, to do your masters, and we reconnected. We met again.
Yeah.
And then we started to give this a chance, right?
Yeah, so my husband moved. We were working here, but then he moved to Italy. He got a job in Italy. I know you guys are thinking I probably followed him. I didn't even think he would be my husband by then. He was not even my type by then.
So you guys met here as friends,
as colleagues, yeah.
And then you moved to Italy independently.
He got a job. He moved. Yeah,
I went before.
moved. Yeah, he went before, and I moved for school. I went to school, and I chose Italy because they have many international organizations that I work with there, so it was my first choice. And so it just happened when we were there, we met.
You reconnected again.
We reconnected in Italy.
Somebody had to show her around.
Yeah, so
Get her better.
And it just happened to be you.
Showing me around. He took advantage of teaching me Italian. And anyway, the long form is on our YouTube channel. You can check it out. But that's like the short.
That's the long and short of it. But
Okay.
And then we started our relationship, and one thing led to another, and eventually we married.
We got married last year in Italy.
Oh, you got married last year?
Yeah.
But how long have you guys been together as a couple?
A few years, five.
About five?
Yeah.
About 5.
Wow.
Yeah, he took a while to propose.
And just, just out of curiosity, when did you know she was the one? Now that you guys met in Kenya and you were just friends for a while, then you moved to Italy. Actually, guys, this is the first time I'm hearing of the story of how they met. I haven't watched it yet, so this is also a first for me. So how did you know that she's the one? She's the one you want to, spend the rest of your life with, because forever is a long time.
Right. You should ask her too the same question. But I guess I knew not long after. What happens though, I think in most relationships, you run into moments and situations in which you wonder, do I like that? Do I not like that? Is that bringing the best of me or the worst of me? And I think that's something that happens with relationships anyway, no? And you're like, okay, maybe that is that thing I keep looking away from and I need to work on. Like maybe I should be more careful about that, or less careful about that, or just more proactive about something. So it was, I think, try to answer your question, it was more on and off this thing, right? Like, I love this, but I don't like that, but I'm also not perfect. So I kept, you question on and off, but in the long term, I think looking back at it all, and by the time I proposed, I was sure.
Oh, and you?
Huh, what?
How did you know he's the one,
Like he said, like relationships are hard. Dating is hard, marriage is hard, everything is hard. You just have to choose who you're going to enjoy the hardness with. Like, because everything it's not all roses.
Yeah.
So he was understanding of me, he was patient. And I actually knew he was the one when I moved to Italy. And moving abroad, it was really hard on me. People don't tell you, but it's actually so hard to go away from home and start a new life somewhere. So I had a hard time adjusting, going in offices, getting my papers right, the culture and everything. And he was patient. He showed me around. He helped me with other things. And I was like, we can take this a top notch. He's not that bad after all. And he was the kindness and the patience. And because sometimes I was losing my mind, but he was like, it's okay. You just have... it's okay, just let things flow, let things go, like let everything take course. And I liked that about him. And that's when he proposed. I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
I mean, on
that
my
was your
favor,
response?
He proposed. Where did he propose? Because I think we had a private proposal and we had one proposal. The private one, he took me to Spain because that's our favorite place. But we don't have that on our channel because it was private, because we both enjoy Spain, we love Spain. So it was a weekend and he was like, let's just go. And I had no idea. He had planned everything, the hotel, the photographer. It was by the beach. Sunset by the beach. He was like, he knew I liked photo shoots. So he was like, I got someone who will do a photo shoot for us in Spain.
But I told you last minute.
Yeah, he told me last minute, because even when I left, luckily I was looking presentable, because I didn't know it was still summer, so I still had my summer thing. So I was looking okay. So we went to the beach, and I still had no idea, and we were just walking, doing our sunset thing, our sunset walk, and I just turned around and there he was.
Aww. How did you feel at that time?
I was confused at first because I didn't see it coming. Usually, I always thought he's predictable, but he wasn't bad. I didn't see it coming at all. And but he was like, I didn't even see the ring. Because
you were out of your mind.
You were blown away.
I think I gave it to the photographer.
Yeah.
So we made a switch with the phone and
I was shocked, but I was so happy because it was at the beach, where is our favorite place. Sunset, we love watching sunset, and that was beautiful. But that was a private one, and then he proposed again.
This one though,
in public?
There was another one, the public.
It was during our good friend's wedding.
In
Sicily. So we were invited to a wedding, and it was a beautiful place because it was you could see the sea. It's an island, right? And then there's a volcano in the back, and I just thought it was beautiful, and I check with my friend, look, I don't want to steal the show or anything. Said, no, by all means, make us proud. And so we did it. I proposed to her there with this landscape. And
wow.
It was nice to share.
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like a romantic thing.
Yeah, we used to have a video on that. He always liked to propose, because he was always like, you know what, I can actually propose more than once, because I know he likes the volcano, he likes the island. So he proposed to me at my favorite place and at his favorite place. That's why
that's so nice.
That's why we had to like.
That's so romantic.
Yeah.
So
not planned like that. It just kind of
spontaneous.
Because also the one he did, I didn't see it coming either. The second one. I didn't see it coming either, but it was like a beautiful place. Actually, it was like we went outside. We were doing a vlog, and then for some reason I was like, you know what? It would be so nice if somebody proposed for you out here in the volcano.
You said so.
I said so, and I had no idea. And then put on his knee.
That's so lovely, guys.
I have to take advantage that we were well dressed too.
Yeah, that one we were well dressed.
We went to a wedding.
Yeah.
Right. So talking about life abroad, what was it like for you? What is it like for you right now?
Right now, it's gotten better. I've gotten used to it, but at first it was really hectic. Like settling down, getting to speak the language, especially because in Italy the majority speak Italian, which it's okay, we're in Italy. They don't speak English a lot.
Did you know the language before?
No, I had no idea. I didn't.
So
even
you just
speak a word.
moved.
I just said like buongiorno. That's the only Italian word I knew. And
Plus, but your master's, your school,
my
was
school
in English.
was in English.
Oh, right.
So she didn't really need it, but then you found out that you actually do.
I actually needed it because I had to go to the office. I had to go to school, and weirdly enough, my master's was in English, but most people in the office spoke Italian. So in school,
right.
I had to learn it the hard way, if I may say. And there was that missing home and missing the food, missing family.
So it's a real thing, because I hear a lot of people who move abroad say they get homesick in the first 1 year.
It's not easy,
Oh.
It's not easy. And then there's also adopting another culture. It was hard. But once you start getting the hang of things, it becomes easier. As time goes by, it becomes easier.
So was it like easier with Pancho around, or was it easier because of him? Or?
I could say he made it better.
Right.
He when he came in the picture and started helping me around, it eased my mind a little bit. But I don't want to give him all the credit though.
Well, it's also because I'm also not Italian by birth or anything.
Right.
So I know, and then before that I lived in Kenya. I've been a foreigner in different places.
Right.
So I knew what she could be going through, and especially, there's also the whole different culture, different race, different everything, different language. So I helped her sort of navigate that in as much as possible. But that doesn't take away the melancholy of family or friends or food. Right?
It doesn't replace that feeling, right? Because a lot of people I know on the channel are looking forward to moving abroad, because most of my followers, I must say, are people in interracial long distance relationship who are looking forward to moving abroad, including myself. So I like to get the experience to know what to expect. I know everyone's different. Everyone's experience will be different. But I'd like to know what to expect, so that it's not such a big culture shock for me. Although I'll also have someone who is also an immigrant as well. Eamon is not Australian, he's Irish, but he lives in Australia. So at least I know that would be a little bit better for me.
And the language.
And but it's, at least for me, the language is not going to be a problem. Well, hopefully it won't be.
Maybe the accent will be a little.
True. But if I navigated Eamon's accent, the first couple of times we started talking, so we met online. And we dated for like 8 months online before he finally flew to Kenya. We tried getting me a visa. Different story. We couldn't get one. Even a visitor visa, we couldn't get one.
Wow.
Too many requirements.
And they are very strict. Australians are a little bit hard. So we couldn't get a visa. He had to come. So we waited for 8 months before meeting. And I had never spoken to an Irish person before. And they speak really fast.
The accent. I don't even understand it. I have to watch movies with subtitles.
I know, right? They speak so fast. And then I tried speaking to his mother. I couldn't understand a word, and we both speak English, so it was really hard for me at first, and I had to put my phone on speakerphone for me to understand what he's saying, and I kept saying what for the first 2 months before I could understand him. So at least I feel like if I navigated that, the Australian accent won't be so hard on me.
True.
But we're hoping for the visa to come through soon so we can be together. The other question I wanted to ask you guys is, what's your favorite thing about her? Knowing that she's Kenyan, she's black, she's so different from you, different
black.
Cultures. Different cultures. Do you ever sit down somewhere and think, oh, I'm dating a black woman? Because I feel like for us in our experience with Eamon, I know he's white. At the back of my mind, it's not a thing anymore for us.
Yeah.
When we're together, it's just us as a couple. But when we go out there, that's when you feel like, geez, we are so seen because we attract that attention. Is it the same for you guys?
You guys, like me, about her. Yeah, I think maybe in the beginning, I used to think, wow, she's just beautiful and she's
Black.
and Kenyan, and she comes from a different culture. There's a lot of similarities, by the way. Especially when you go into rural Peru, rural Kenya, you see people more or less making it happen, living in very similar ways, no?
Right.
And then the humbleness that you find, and people are kind here as they are in Latin America, no?
Right.
So that I liked very much, and she carries that. But what I like about her personally is that she's a very keen person.
Right.
Like she listens to everything, even the words I don't say. And so she's also smart. I guess that's
She is.
So she's very street smart, I guess you could say. Where I'm
not book smart.
you can be. At least you have a choice. I can only be book smart. I cannot be. And she's good with languages, even without studying. She speaks Spanish very well, and that to me. So I'm learning Kiswahili for the same reason.
Right.
Because we want to get away from just the English and
Right,
something more us. But so she has this whole package of things that I like. I'm not saying that she reads my mind and all that, but she pays attention, and I really like that. And she anticipates some things, and sometimes she tells me things in my face. And, sometimes you don't like it, but it's true, and it has to come out in some way. So those are the kind of things I like about her, and she's just beautiful and smart and sexy, and I'm so proud that she's my wife.
Oh, that's so nice. And what sets him apart from all the rest? Because for most, Kenyan women, they're into this interracial relationship thing because of the difference and what we have in mind for white people of a different race from ours. There's that superiority that we think that white guys or Americans or Asians are a bit super as compared to us, and that's what attracts them. But now that you went over there and you had a sea to choose from, a sea of all the white guys you could get.
Fish in the ocean.
Yes. What sets him apart?
First of all, I would say he's not as white because he's just
Latino.
He's Latino,
Like the soap operas you used
like
to
the soap operas. Did you grow up watching those soap operas?
Yes.
Oh my God, they gave us this illusion about.
Excuse me.
No, no, you're romantic. No, I'm saying they give us an illusion when you're a child, anyway, it's not about soap operas. So what I like about him is that, first of all, he is very kind. It's very important to have a kind person, like a kind partner. It goes a long way. Like when you're fighting, for instance, when you're disagreeing, if you don't have a kind person, you just feel like out of place and somebody who looks down on you.
Right.
But he's very kind and he's very patient. He's very, very patient, and also he's keen to details. Like he's the kind of guy when I see something nice in the mall, I'm just staring at a nice dress. The next day he brings it for me.
That's nice.
Not every time when he has the money.
Okay.
So he's very keen. He's very kind, and I like that he doesn't have this superiority because of skin color.
Right.
He blended with my culture. He eats what I eat. I give him ugali, he eats. I cook grass at home, he eats.
That's so good.
So he's so appreciative, and the color is not a thing in our relationship. Sometimes like you said, it's when you go outside and people stare and you're like,
Right.
oh yeah,
Okay, I know why.
yeah, I'm black and he's white, but otherwise it's not a thing. And
Yeah.
I love him, and he's just amazing. And it's somebody, even after a long day or after a fight, you still don't mind falling back in his arms, you know.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
And that's what I love the most about him.
That's what set him apart for you.
Yes, for me that was it, because it's like, we all know that love is never enough in a relationship, and we have to be honest.
Yeah, true.
And when love is not enough, you need a person who is still there, like who is kind, patient, understanding. There are also other features that people should consider. It's not just love, because sometimes people grow out of love.
Right.
But if you have somebody who you can be like, no, I'm here for him, and I love him, and even if when I feel like I don't want to talk to him, you still find yourself coming back to him.
Right.
And it's that he has that.
I feel like a king. I feel like a king.
I think I'm saying a lot of sweet things, and he's gonna start acting up.
Keep
But
it coming. Keep it coming.
that's it. When you know love is not enough, you still can go to that person.
I think
And
that's important.
He's not like materialistic in the sense that I could look anything and he'll still be like, you know what, that's my woman.
Yeah.
He
You feel accepted as you are.
Yeah, he has totally accepted me as I am, with
Bonnet.
running my mouth, my dusty weeds, bonnet in the house, you know.
Yeah.
That kind of a person. I can be free within. I can joke about anything, and yeah.
Oh, that's good. Would you say your relationship is like a traditional kind of relationship? You know, or you do 50-50?
Traditional in like,
In the sense that you take care of the household, he takes care of the bills, or you split the bills 50-50? Because I feel like this is a huge thing for interracial relationships, the culture shock.
Yeah.
So like us as Kenyans, we are used to the man taking care of everything. And I'll take care of the household, you know. If we have kids, I'll look after the kids. And if I work, my money is mine.
Right.
no, ours is not traditional. It's non-traditional in the sense that he doesn't mind helping around the house. Like he said, he hates washing dishes. So I do the dishes when he hates them. What do I hate to do, babe?
Laundry.
Laundry. I hate laundry. So
And
he helps with that.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the bills, you know, my card, his card, anybody's card. We don't have like those set rules. We just
No, we're actually quite open about that. In terms of, we manage the money in a very shared way. Even if sometimes she brings more, or sometimes I bring more, or I have another gig on the side, it's okay. Should we go for this thing or not? Right? We always discuss it, and it's more of a courtesy, I think.
Yeah.
So that we keep things nice and even, and I don't have the upper hand or she doesn't have the upper hand, and that's sort of developed alone, which I liked.
Yeah, because at first, you know, when I moved to Italy, I had to leave my job, so I didn't have a job. And that's one of the things that I was in my mind. I was like, oh my god, I need something. Like after school, I need something.
Yeah.
But he never even, when I was looking for jobs, he was never like, you know, you need to pay this, you need to pay this. He was always like catering for things, and he's like, babe, don't worry.
He was making it rain. Yeah?
Don't worry, you don't have a job, you'll find a job, it's okay, don't beat yourself up. And then I did. And then
she was buying me things,
and I was buying things, Amazon packages. So we don't have that. Like we share everything. We talk about finances. It's actually open.
It's all shared.
It's all shared.
Right.
And
Mostly,
sometimes I pay the bills in the restaurant. Sometimes he pays, and also he doesn't. You know, he's you know, sometimes I would give him my card to pay. He was like, no, you pay. I want to see you paying for it. You know, like he wants me.
Also, sometimes to mess with people, because as you said, you know, you're living in Europe, right?
Yeah.
So where they expect the man to pay, because it's also very traditional there. Or they see a white man and a woman, a black woman, and they think, oh, he'll pay. And
Yeah,
so
right.
I like to let her pay with her card, so that
People get confused. Because we bring the bill to him and he's like, give it to her, and they're confused, like, what do you mean?
Why not? You know?
Yeah.
So we do that to see their reaction.
Yeah, and I just pay, and they're like, oh, okay.
Well, That's a good perspective, because I feel like most people, when they look at an interracial couple, they feel like it's always, there's a power dynamic there where the man has the money and has the power, and the woman is just
just there.
is she just there? She's just a yes woman. And that's not our case at all. When I met Eamon, I was still in campus, so I really didn't have much going on for me. And then he offered to take care of me. And I feel like I've been open with this, because a lot of women feel like it's something to be ashamed of if you're being taken care of by your man.
It's not.
Which is not something I'm ashamed of, because I know I'm not lazy, you know. I work, and I finished campus and I got a job, but he still takes care of me. And I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about, just because it's okay. The modern world has brought this idea that women have to pull their weight. And I don't have to pull my weight financially for me to feel like I'm contributing to our relationship. And that's what I'm trying to push out there. So it's good to know that there's households where everything is shared, because I feel like that's our case right now. But it wasn't before, you know. Before it was all his responsibility, the bills, and now we can share because now I have a job. Yeah. So for anyone who's out there and feeling like, oh, you're feeling less because you're not, you know, contributing financially, it's totally okay. Yeah, it's totally in our opinion, obviously.
And it doesn't mean that it was easy for her. She was used to like having her own means and didn't want to depend on me. So it was hard for her to find. I was like, look, you're studying, you're doing, you know, you're busy with that. So it's it's hard to like do both, and you live in a different country where things cost more. So it was also hard for you to get used to that. And
like you're used to having your own finances, to being independent, and then you go. But there's no shame in letting your man take care of you, like you said. I was in school. What would I have done? You know, there's no shame, and when it's your turn, when you have a job, you take care of each other. You know, because I also remember like sometime I don't know who called me. And they were like, why is your husband? And I was like, he's cooking. And they're like, he's what? He's doing what? I was like, he's in the kitchen. He makes very good pasta, by the way.
Because they're easy.
They're easy to make.
So people think because I'm African, I should be the one cooking for my man. I mean, I don't mind cooking, but he also doesn't mind making his favorite dish for us in the house.
Nyama choma.
Nyama choma.
You can make nyama choma?
Yeah. So like that's a thing. It's open, you know. If I'm not feeling well, you can cook. Or even when sometimes, you know, you're craving something, he's like, babe, I'll make it for you. It's really open. We are like that. And to some people it was like a shock, because, you know, in Africa, in the culture, African culture, the man doesn't even know where the kitchen is.
True. True, because we do a lot of our videos are like a day in our life, a week in our life kind of videos, and Eamon does most of the cleaning, most of the cooking. And I know people are like, what? People are like, I am overworking him. That's what people used to tell me. Pull your weight. Stop making your man do everything. And I'm like, he likes doing these things because we're in long distance. We don't have a normal traditional lifestyle, you know. He only comes for a short while and then goes back. So this time that he has with me, he wants to make it as enjoyable for both of us as we can. So if I don't like doing the house chores, honestly, but I do like cooking, even though I'm not so good at it.
I mean, it's a form of love language. Like, let me do this for you because I know it'll give you a break. But there's also a side of me that's like, okay, let me hang the clothes out there or water the plants so that I get away from the screen. You know, because we're working so much.
Just do something.
So let me just do something else, put music on, and I get to help you.
Exactly. And then this mentality of gender roles, that like the woman should cook and clean. Come on.
I mean, I like it.
We are past
Don't
that.
Get me wrong.
No, we are past that. I mean,
we are. And
if you can find a partner who is not, you have to cook, you have to clean, you have to do this, it really eases things up.
It's so easy, and it's much more enjoyable. I like being home because most of the times when he's here, I'm working, I'm still going to work, or we're doing something together, or I'm not just feeling okay, you know. If something like that's happening, like the last time he was here, I was working mostly for the last 1 week, and so he had to do more of the chores in the house, cook, clean, and it gave him something to do while I was, you know, in school. But somebody who is watching on the screen would think he does everything, pays for the bills, cooks, cleans. Now he's I'm looking for a nicer word for that. I can't find it. that he's less of a man than he's supposed to be, which is not the case.
It's not the case.
Yeah. So what's the one advice you'd give to an engaged couple like us, aspiring to be married now that you've been married for a year?
Yeah.
A year?
Yeah. Almost
More.
a year.
Almost.
Oh, no, yeah. It feels like a lifetime,
Right?
Yeah. Okay. One advice, like for people looking to be married or people to be married.
Yes.
One of the advice that I would give some people is, even when you're married, never stop dating. Never stop going on those date nights. Never stop buying them flowers or what they like, because people get so comfortable in marriage, like you neglect your partner. Like,
I made it. I trapped her.
Yeah, I trapped her. I don't need anything else. You need to keep working. It's like a fire. You have to keep adding wood to the fire.
Right.
Because if you don't, it dies down. So never stop dating your partner. Never stop communicating. Never stop putting the effort you were putting when you're married. If anything, before you're married, if anything, continue. Don't get too comfortable. Work on your marriage. And I won't say, it's not really, nothing changed for us. I think you just sign a piece of paper and people freak out. Oh my God, I'm married, I have a ring.
It really depends.
It really depends.
We were already quite open and had discussed
a
series of issues in terms of future, work, family, place to live. So it's not like we didn't know each other well, or we had an arranged marriage. That I can understand. What now that you're married, what's up? No, it's for us. It was okay. We married, but we had already discussed a series of things and tested ourselves with ourselves and alone, right? Yeah. So for us, marriage was a celebration, really.
Right.
Not something that I have to have the house, the wife, marriage, the picket fences, right? The banana tree. It's more of a, okay, we want everyone to know.
Yeah. It was a milestone. It was not a goal for us,
right?
Because people take marriage as a goal. I have to get married and then get kids and then build a house, do this. You don't have to find that in marriage, and it's okay. It's okay if you don't build a big house with your partner. You can live in your studio apartment.
Right.
It's okay if you don't get 10 kids that you wanted, because people come in this mentality, and then when it doesn't go like that, you're starting like, marriage is not working for me.
Right.
We still live in a small bedroom. I thought we would build a bigger house. Just take your time. Take your time. Continue. It's nobody is like giving you marks at the end of the day. Oh, today your marriage was 10%.
Right.
Just don't be in a hurry. Don't look at it like an end game. Like, you marry and then what? Or
like thinking that people will change.
Yeah.
I know we're married now.
He's gonna
you
be a
shouldn't
different
be a
person.
drunkard.
Yeah.
If it was before, he'll be, or she, now after. So it's, people can change, all right? But it does take a lot of work and effort.
And it's not the marriage aspect that changes people.
No, not necessarily.
But people think it's the marriage. Like, I'm married now, and it's, like you said, you need to talk about things before you marry.
Right.
Before you get married, like things to do with finances, kids, where to live. It helps a lot.
Right.
Because people fear having that conversation before marriage, because you also want to be on the same page.
Right.
Maybe I want 30 kids and he wants 2. And then when you're married, you start, crashing, like, what happened, this happened, So you need to try and be on the same page, like you talk about things. And it's just a milestone. It's not really, don't make it a big deal. It's not a goal. No.
But I totally understand that there's many people in situations where they have that pressure. I mean, pressure is real from families. So it's hard to escape that. But if you can, try to look at it from that point of view.
Yeah, talking about family, obviously you guys have met each other's family, right? How was obviously how was your family's reaction to meeting her?
Well, they had already met her with FaceTime and all that, but of course, them coming to visit to Italy, some of them to visit us and staying with us, or us going to Peru, right, and then meeting in person. We're blessed, actually. I mean, I can speak for my side for sure. That we don't have anything. She's black, negra, esto, lot. We don't have that. Luckily, they were very loving and welcoming, and they respect my choices. So I've also had my own struggles while I was growing up, and I paid for my own school and I took myself. So they also can't be saying, "Oh, we raised you like this." They don't have that, and even if they did, I think my father and mother they would be fair with me. So I am lucky to have that kind of support, and I also feel lucky that her family has been very welcoming. Can I explain that?
Yeah.
I feel very loved and welcome, and I think for us it's been, you see so many differences and so many similarities, no? Even in the humor.
With your family.
With our families and our cultures. Because I lived in many places, but I am from Peru and we have our own things and our own superstitions.
Right.
And our own way of looking at life and the kind of food that we eat, no?
Right.
And that's also very important.
Yeah.
So she made me sound like a chef before, but I can make 4 or 5 things. That's it. And if I do laundry, it's because we have a washing machine. Okay, so don't.
Right.
But
So
I don't like hanging clothes.
Well, it's boring, but at least, I don't know. I'm
it
thinking
keeps
of-
you busier.
Yeah.
Okay,
like you get
that's
ideas
lovely.
in the shower.
Yeah.
Again, pegging clothes.
And I come out of the shower, baby, we should do this video, we should do this.
Talking about that, guys, they have a YouTube channel. I think you should totally check them out because you're gonna love the vibes. Yeah. What's your YouTube handle? What do you offer on the
Yeah.
YouTube channel?
So in our YouTube handle is JojoandPancho. We share a lot of travel because we travel a lot. Okay, we travel a lot because we live in Italy and it's closer than being in Peru or being in Kenya. So we like to take advantage of the fact that we are placed
Right.
at a place where we can just travel. So we like showing people the world in our perspective. Like
Right.
we go to European countries, we go to the Caribbean, we go
Once.
to we actually went to our honeymoon in the Caribbean. So we like sharing that. We also like sharing more of our lives, like our routine, life in Italy, how it's like. If you want to know about life in Italy, you can check it out. And we just
It's not a travel per se channel
No.
though. It just happens to be what we like to do is to have fun, and we thought let's share that because
Right.
instead of making a drama, because it's like when you go see a movie, you look for horror or action or comedy or drama. We chose, okay, this is entertainment, but let's keep it light. I think a lot of people have their own dramas at home.
we don't film that.
So like why tell you about Pancho lost his job,
Right.
Jojo broke her foot. So it's like, let's just keep it light
Light and
and maybe we
fun.
can put a smile on your face.
And also we love to banter each other in our channel. Like I make fun of him, he makes fun of me, and I talk a lot.
And they're just jokes,
They're
Sometimes
just
people are,
jokes.
leave Pancho alone. It's like,
Yeah, some
I
people
don't
get, I understand that if you don't know people, you may think like, okay, maybe she's too mean, maybe he's too mean, but that's just us. We like bantering each other.
Because
And
if it was serious and she did get mad at me, we'd be editing that out.
we wouldn't post that
Right.
video.
People don't understand that it takes more than one video to understand the personality of a couple. So I feel like I've also gotten hate from people on my channel telling me that I'm too mouthy, I'm too mean to Eamon. Eamon is too nice, or Eamon is too boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Which he isn't actually. Behind the scenes, he's I'd say you of my relationship. He talks a lot, but on camera he really doesn't.
Same. He doesn't talk a lot on camera, but off camera, wow.
The banter and the roasting.
So, but it has to be like that. I mean, it's okay if I'm the one talking a lot. It's okay. Sometimes he talks a lot. Sometimes he doesn't talk a lot.
Right.
But we like sharing that, and guys, you can check us out. I promise you won't be bored.
You won't be bored by the way. I'll check them out. I have checked them out in real life and on camera, and you're gonna love them. If I love them, you guys are gonna love them. Also, just to wrap up this episode, I want to talk about a few stereotypes that I feel like we've had to. Well, I have experienced as an interracial, as an interracial couple, as part of an interracial couple, and especially here in Kenya. The very first one, and the only one that still rings in my mind, is this idea that just because I'm dating a white guy, I'm loaded. I have money. I should be offering that money to the orphanages and building houses and taking people to school.
Yeah.
Because everyone else around me in my community is entitled to that money.
Exactly.
And this really infuriates me because it's not just like I've had this from family members, but it's not just that. It's even in like other places that we go to that we need service from, like a restaurant. You go to a restaurant or you use a cab, and the cab driver tells you that tell him to give me more.
Yeah, top up.
heard that.
Yeah. Tell him to give me, and he says that in Swahili and expect me to do that. Or we go to a restaurant and the waiter asks for a tip through me.
Yeah.
And I always tip. And I'm always the one tipping if he is paying the bill, And it really infuriates me because it gives me this idea that they think I am in this for, a short term. I'm in this, I'm an escort. Sorry to say if someone there is an escort. It's such a short term thing for me. And at that time we're engaged, I'm wearing my ring. What do you think I am? The worst was at the coast, when we went to the coast, and I think there's a lot of, what's the decent word for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, those people who are there for other motives, looking for
a worker.
Escorts. Yeah, you go there, and this one time I was there with Eamon, and a bunch of guys actually who are tuk-tuk riders told me to tell that Mzungu to buy them beers. I looked at them and I didn't say anything. And then they told me, still in Swahili, because I know they knew I'm Kenyan, even though I wasn't responding to them. And they told me to, he was like, he'll go and just leave you here with us. So why don't you enjoy the money with us? I was so offended.
Oh my God.
I didn't even tell anyone about it. I was so offended because I was like, okay, when I'm with my man, I feel like, we are together. This for the long term. But when I'm facing that kind of backlash in my own country, it actually hurts,
Yeah.
So what's your stereotype? I feel like that is one stereotype that really hurts my feelings. That every time someone sees me with a white guy, they think I'm in it for the money, or I'm an escort, or it's just a short-term thing. And it doesn't help that we have a somewhat slightly larger age gap, age difference. He's 14 years older than me. It doesn't look as but in person, if you look at us in person, you can tell the difference, and that really hurts me. So, what's your stereotype that you've had to deal with, and would you like to debunk that?
I actually have two. I don't know if we have time.
We have time.
No, the first one is actually the one you mentioned, and it's like people always think I'm with him for the money. What? Don't you think for a moment he could be with me for my money?
What do you mean?
True.
It could be the other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, they always think that you are in a relationship because of the benefits.
Right.
The money, the traveling, the passport. And that's a very, very bad perspective. And first of all, if I was with someone else, it would still be the same. It just happened that I fell in love with him.
Right.
And
it's not your fault.
it's not my fault. So I just think it's a very bad stereotype, thinking that the black person, either the guy or the girl in the relationship, is the other person because of the benefits. It's not like that. It's not my fault that I fell in love with a white guy, and if he's loaded or not, that's none of your business. But I'm not there for that. It's more, there's a lot in a relationship. So that's the first one. And also the one of asking people, tell him to pay more, ask him to do this. Like, come on. In this day and age, you have to get out of the mentality that white people are rich. I'm sorry, not every white person is rich.
True that.
There are some that actually don't even have the money, but you have this mentality, they have money. No, they don't. Not all of them.
True.
So yeah, I think that one should be like, people should forget about that and just see people as who they are. If you fall in love with a white person, that's fine, and it's not for the benefits. And the other one before my husband talks, it's the one for, because I'm black, I disrespect my culture because I married a white person. Like, what?
Betrayed.
I've experienced that.
I betrayed and I disrespected my culture, so I should have married my culture, and if possible, my tribe mate.
Oh, God.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't even know how I forgot about that because I've had backlash on Instagram.
You should have married a black person.
Yes, there's so many black single men. Why would I go out of my race? And people think that black people are not racist.
Yeah, they are.
Very, very racist.
So I feel like
in a different way, no?
Yeah. If you find a partner that respects your culture and that you respect each other's culture, and like he did his part of the culture, he did the introduction, we did the traditional stuff that needed to be done, and you may find even a person of your race won't even do that.
True.
I just think you just find somebody who respects your culture and you respect their culture. It doesn't matter if they're black, if they're white. I just feel like I am not disrespectful because I married a white.
No, you're not.
Yeah, it just happened, that fate, destiny. We fell in love and we did right by the culture. So that mentality should go,
Yeah.
Like you have to marry this because of this, you have to marry that because of that.
Haters.
Luckily, I don't get any of that from like my family. They're so supportive.
Which is what's most important.
Which is what most important. Because out there, people will always have something to say.
True.
If you marry your culture, they should be like, oh, that's a downgrade. You should have married somebody else. There's
always gonna be backlash for some reason.
Backlash. You can never please everybody.
Everyone.
If you're at peace, if you're happy,
Right.
that's all that matters.
That's lovely. Yeah.
Okay.
Any stereotypes, Pancho?
Well, yeah, so one is they think that everyone who's not black and looks like a musungu has money, right? And that's one, right? But you've already touched on that. I guess the other one that people tend to carry is that African people tend to be always late.
African
African timers. But that's not always true. And in fact, I'll be a hypocrite if I don't say this, because Latinos have also that kind of reputation, right? Oh, they're always late. The meeting is at 10, but they're here at 10:15, 10:20, and they arrive with coffee, saying hi to everyone. So we're also like that. Me, though, because I lived abroad and in the US, you start adjusting. You're like, okay, I can't be late or it looks bad, so I may lose my job.
Right.
So I learned to be more punctual.
Right.
But
am I always late?
A little bit. But so you start taking that more loosely.
Yes.
Right.
African time.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for being on the channel. Would you please tell the viewers your Instagram, TikTok handles, any other social media handles that you have, so they can go follow you, because they need more of this. They need more of this realness. I feel like a lot of couples out there who are in interracial relationships and have channels sell something that's not really the case, that interracial relationships are all rosy and luxury.
Perfect,
and real life is not like that. Nobody lives in luxury 24/7. I mean, unless you're the richest person.
Trust fund
baby, but I'm not, so
I was looking for one too, but and anyway, it's not like we love each other and support, but it doesn't mean it was easy. And even if we are so welcoming and she's so kind, I'm so kind, we still had many clashes,
right?
Because we know each other so well, and so you can't hide anything. It still was not easy. It's not like, let me find the perfect person. There's no perfect person.
There's no perfect person. You create your perfect person, I suppose. Okay, so what are your handles?
Our YouTube is JojoandPancho.
It will be right here.
It will be right here. Marie will leave it in the description. Our Instagram is JojoandPancho too. Our TikTok is JojoandPancho. And thank you so much, Marie, for having us. I feel like
for sharing.
Yeah, and for sharing. We've been in Italy for long, and we don't get to interact a lot with other interracial. We have like a couple of friends, but we haven't interacted on this level, and we are very grateful that you had us on our channel. Having this open conversation made things, like I'm not alone.
No, you're not.
And like Pancho said, there's no perfect relationship. Either it's an interracial one, either it's an interracial one, and don't have too much expectations out of something. Just be happy. When you're happy within yourself, then everything, like your partner is happy. Don't go looking for happiness in somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to be happy for you to find that happiness in a relationship.
Or it's just not gonna show up, basically.
It's not gonna show up. And
like needy.
Don't be needy. And Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for sticking through with us to the end of this episode. I hope to see you in my very next one, which is gonna come next week. So be sure to tune in, and I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.